Hello and welcome back. On the last episode, we started the ending ritual, which resulted in Ox being set on fire. Because of this, we're last time we chose to save Ox, which obviously was the bad end. I don't know why Ox was set on fire, and I'm worried Sheep is to blame for it. I hope it's Pig, because obviously we know Pig is the traitor in this ending. But I think it's going to go with everyone's going to be a killer once. But regarding that though, we have to step forward. And we have to get to safety. My emotional side wept for Ox. My logical side realised there was no way in hell I was able saving him. I mean, at this point, he was already engulfed in flames. It just wasn't feasible anymore. I should focus on saving those who were still alive, namely myself. In what I could honestly describe as an act of pure cowardice, I immediately turned away from the fire and ran out the room through the door. It would have looked pretty bad if I was the only one to try something like this. Luckily for me, I was hardly the only coward. In fact, the entire room cleared of people. Every single one of them immediately put as much distance between them and the sudden inferno as possible, running out of the room en masse, screaming all the while. Once we had gotten to safety, we took a moment to stop, take a breath, and realize what had happened. And once we had calmed down, we were able to re-enter the room and see what exactly we were dealing with. Inside, we didn't see Ox's corpse. That would be far too kind a term for what we laid eyes on. No, instead we looked at a flaming, charred flesh that vaguely human shape. I saw the sight which would be burned into my retinas for the rest of my life. And I promptly began to throw up. Oh, okay, is it? So it's settled then, right? We're agreed? Nothing is settled. Sounds pretty settled to me. Predictably, after the smoke literally cleared, our group defaulted to our usual pastime, incessant bickering. Yeah, that sounds like the creepy music had stopped a while ago. It went without saying that the ritual had failed. One shot at skipping to the end of the stupid race blown. But that was really more of a secondary issue. The primary issue was the exact circumstances that left us with a burning corpse. Clearly, it was murder. Murder by arson. Okay, but so everyone's going to think it's Monkey, because Monkey confessed to being, obviously, the traitor, and then she was untied. But the issue is, well, obviously it's going to cause a divide. Another issue is that the clear group leader, since Ox is like the one who's like leading everyone, is dead. So it's now going to be a fight for, command. The question was, who did it? Up until this point, I'd mostly stayed silent in the corner. Even though in the past I tried to lead the group, I needed some time to take everything that had just been happened. No, I don't think Mouse counts as a leader. Like, yeah, fair enough, she was the one who calmed everyone down. But, she didn't really do anything besides, so yeah. Ox. He was the person I woke up with, the person I spent a lot of time with. He seemed reliable, like someone you could depend on. For him to end up like this, well, at least I was holding up better than some people. But for Ox's sake, I couldn't just stand passively by any longer. I needed to help solve stuff. It seems, however, that the group had reached a conclusion without me. Now, horse. We don't want to start a fight over this. We just want to figure out what happened. Could you try explaining to us why you aren't the culprit? I'm not the culprit because I didn't kill anybody. I mean, yeah, fire, it seems like too simple for horse. Well, sorry, or rather, too methodical for horse. Right, and for him of all people to become the prime suspect. What a tragedy. This interrogation is dreadfully dull. So why does everyone think... Sorry if I'm not amusing to you, Snake. Yeah, but like... Why is Horse the prime suspect? Do you want me to juggle while I deny the murderer? I want a picture of that, honestly. I want to see if... I just imagine like Horse not only juggling but on a unicycle. Maybe with clown face paint on. That's not necessary. Though it'd be pretty badass if you can pull it off. Shut up, Rooster. But I do agree with you. But we shouldn't say that to his face. That's like this is the kind of shut up you're ever getting. Because we agree it's going to be a fun thing. Indeed, but it would be rather it would be rather badass, wouldn't it? See, I'm glad Snake has a sense of humor as well. I can't believe he's a teacher, but yeah, like part of the army makes more sense. Horse, you see where we're coming from, though, right? Both Rooster and Sheep had confirmed that you were standing up when things went down. You admitted it yourself. It's clear from the way the flames went up that the culprit poured the oil on Ox and lit him up. You were the only one who could have done it. I didn't. Compelling stuff. You're not even going to attempt to point out that there's still a significant amount of oil in the bucket? Why would I when you can do that for me? Because I also point out that we are unsure the exact amount of oil that was in the bucket. So it's entirely possible you could have sloshed some on him. If you make points in your defense by yourself, I won't instantly know their weaknesses. Sounds annoying. If I have to, though, how exactly did I light the fire? Oh, now this is an interesting query. Oh, sorry, quandary. How was the fire started? If we're looking for the ways to light fire, I saw Dragon take out a stick lighter earlier. She does have the lighter. Really? Gonna knock on me like that, girl? I thought we were cool. Hey, no, wait, I didn't mean to... it couldn't have just been used a normal match or something? We would have seen a lighter. This was spontaneous. I don't know, I don't see how this is an issue. I'm not disputing that the object used to light the fire. I'm saying if I had lit something in front of me, you all would have seen that, right? So thank you. Yeah, Horse is right. I definitely would have seen it if the fire started from a small... started small in the center of a room, then it was tossed on Ox. The answer lies in just how flammable the oil is. Well, we got some in the bucket, we can find out. Frankly, the fact that any amount of this was found in the school is distressing. A meeting of teachers should be called to discuss that. More to the point, it takes a little to set it ablaze. The igniter could have done something as innocent as practically a static shock. Okay, that's how flammable this is. With the carpet in the room, surely it's possible that something to that effect was prepared. A static shock, seriously? Perhaps it's not the most elegant solution, however it is possible. Or passable. At any rate, your objections in itself is not enough to absolve you of the prime suspicion. This can't be. There's no way a horse would do this. I agree. I mean, I know he doesn't, he might not look it, but he's actually really thoughtful. Yeah, I agree. And, do you really think he would go, he was going to kill Ox if, had he do it in such an obvious way? Well, Sheep, Horse doesn't exactly strike me as a man of subtlety. Exactly, that's even better. But he's not an idiot either. He wouldn't just do this. Okay, I'm hearing you, Sheep. Do you have any alternate explanations? Well, oh, I know. What if it was Rooster? Rooster? He was sitting next to Horse, right? But he was also sitting next to Monkey. Monkey's a traitor, so she might be okay with the plan to disrupt our unity. So she says Rooster didn't let go of her hand, but she could be lying about it. So roosters and unaccounted for when the lights went out. I hate a cut-in sheep, but I must say that this is an absolutely ludicrous proposal. Have I not already proven trustworthy by confessing my role? I sincerely wish for nothing but the survival of the most people possible. I would tell you if Rooster had let go of my hand, he did not. You could be lying. Admitting it earlier, it could just be a ruse. Or have you changed your mind? Sheep, regardless of whether or not Monkey is lying, it can't be Rooster. Horse, you made your way right to the stool, right? Correct. As you claimed, the bucket was right in front of you, as far as I can tell. Then how would Rooster have gotten to the aisle to Ox? In the darkness, he somehow maneuvered around Horse, spilled the oil on Ox without him or anyone else noticing. It seems entirely implausible. You're right, Snake. Hey, hold on. Who's counting me out? Who says what I can and can't do? Rooster, shut up. Either admit to the crime or be quiet. I totally could have killed Ox. Nothing's holding me back. I could have just prepared my own container of oil beforehand and used that. I knew where Ox was sitting, so I could easily have just thrown the oil on Ox without even leaving my seat. And where is the hypothetical container now? Easy, I hid it in a super secret hide spot where when everybody was running away. So what about that? Try saying I couldn't have done it now. Rooster's right. He's still a suspect. Rooster, would you please stop? Yes, Mouse, tell him to shut up. We both know you couldn't have done this. Says who? Ever since we found the note, I've been with you. The note is when we learned about the oil. In fact, you're the only person who didn't have the opportunity to prepare another container of oil for this. So just stop and let us focus on the important things. I still could have done it if I really wanted to. So that's it then. We've settled on Horse as the culprit. No! Hey, not so fast. Look at how Bunny is trying to fast track us. Fast track this. Fast track this? Fast track what? I just thought the conversation was over. We're out a suspect, right? Not true. There's someone who could have set this all up. And that person is you. Bunny was at the light switch. Pig overdramatically stuck out her arm and pointed at Bunny. Bunny seemed unimpressed. Pig, what are you doing? What do you think? I'm exposing you. Really? Really? I don't know what you're all looking at me like that. I'm right about this. Think back to when this all started, the start of all this. Back at the beginning, the person who turned off the lights was Bunny. Then he went back to his seat. That's right, I did. Did you? Yes. Well, you might not have. You could have used that opportunity to, when all eyes were readjusting, to pour oil over Ox's chair. But he was sitting. How would you get him? If you did it like that, he might not have noticed you. Pour oil under Ox's chair? Pig, that's ridiculous. All of this is ridiculous. I'm just going along with the situation's tones and following suit. Something we should all be doing. Anyway, if Snake's thing about static electricity is correct, then the oil was super flammable, and it's possible for the fire to begin with a complete coincidence. You could have just waited patiently for it to start. But Pig, by your logic, couldn't any of the people who stood up have done it? I don't think so. Usually, something like this would be noticeable. When the ritual started, our eyes had adjusted. We would use the music, and we were all on high alert. We would have noticed if someone deviated from the script too much. But right after Bunny turned the lights off, it was pitch black and the music suddenly started playing. I think it's conceivable that Bunny could have made a move then. Seriously? No one's buying this, right? Bunny's desperately looked around the room. I must say that the possibility that this was a true answer is rather low. However, it is not so low that I can dismiss it outright. Apologies, Bunny, but I think Pig's story holds enough water to mark you as another suspect. Okay, well, if that's how it needs to be. Okay, so Bunny and Horse, two people I wouldn't have suspected. It seems as though Bunny was also under suspicion, but could it really have been him? I could put my finger on it, but something about Pig's version of the events just didn't sit right with me. If I could have articulated that into words, it would have been... I would have, but the feeling was too vague for now. Alright, I'll bite. So our suspects are Bunny and Horse. Where does that leave us? Need you even ask? We already have a protocol for dealing with suspicious people. You don't mean... Yeah, I'll just go get more jump ropes. This really doesn't seem necessary, especially against Horse, who could just kind of flex in the weakest way possible, and he would break it. He would break the ropes around him. I don't need to go along with this. Note my compliance as a sign of my innocence. Of course, Horse. Okay, then, fair enough. I honestly, I feel like even if this is the first sort of this was the first playthrough, the first story, the first timeline I had got to, I think I would have trusted these two. I would have, because even we know in this timeline it's Monkey and Pig. Tiger works fast. Before I knew it, Bunny and Horse were tightly tied up around the chairs. Honestly, I was doubtful that whether or not the restraints on Horse would really hold up if he tried to fight back, but it was best we could have given the circumstances. At the very least, Horse looked content. Bunny noticeably less. He wasn't speaking. I realised it might be in poor taste to leave them tied up in the same room as the charred corpse, but they were already there. A little late for that. So that takes care of that. So in this timeline, 3 people have already been tied up to a chair, as well as 1 person dying already. Before we proceed, I might already suggest that we move in pairs. There's still going to be an odd number of people though. I know we may seem less at risk than before, but my position on it hasn't changed. This time, nobody really wanted to fight Monkey on this. I guess seeing a dead body in person made people value more security. Plus, the biggest option of that proposal is knowingly on the floor. He wasn't in any position to be offering complaints. Very well then, we'll group up. I'll go with Dragon. The hell you will. Yeah, my apologies, Dragon. Thank you for babysitting him. Why not? What, not a fan of my company? Trust me, I'm a great conversationalist. Many can attest. I feel like that's the problem. That's a negative in my book. Why do you even want to go with me anyway? In the case that I'm assaulted, I figured I'd choose the person who'd be most adequate to protect me. Hello, I'm right here. I stand by what I said. You know what, fine, you can tag along, just learn to shut up. Okay, and so Rooster has flattered his way to Dragon. Okay, and, well, fine then, I'll take Tiger. Dragon and Tiger are pretty good, pretty cool. Fine then, I guess I'll go with Sheep. That's fair too. Okay, that's okay with me. Pig and I can watch Monkey. It would be a pain to tie her up again, and she'd already proven her worth. How thoughtful of you to say. I have no objections to that arrangement. Okay, so that leaves us with Dog. Yeah, that leaves us with Dog. Okay. Me neither. Being in a group of 3 works for me. It's just fine for me. The math works out better than like that. Guess that leaves me. That means you're with me, Mouse. Okay, cool. Guess that means you're with me, Dog. You don't sound enthused. Matching your level. Fair enough. Okay, yeah, I can get behind Dog and Mouse. Dog and me. I don't know why Dog and me or Dog and Mouse were the hardest to say. Guys, one little objection that I'm realizing. How exactly are we supposed to input our moves for the rounds if we're tied up? Right. Even if we are tied up, we are unable to input our moves. Then we shall be executed. Which I gotta say, I don't love. Crap, they were right. Alright, that is an issue, isn't it? You know what, Mouse and I will make sure that to swing by at the end of every round and let you handle it. That cool with you, Mouse? Yeah, okay, cool. Uh-huh, sure, but... Monkey, you were tied up too. What happened with you? Alright, that. Luckily, Ox came to my aid before it was an issue. He allowed me to use my tablet freely before the end of each round. I must say, it was a good thing too. Had no one realised it, I would have been executed in a quite unfortunate manner. When I realised my predicament, I was already tied up. Needless to say, I was quite stressed before Ox showed up. Oh, sorry about that. It's in the past. Now, let us face the future. Let's. And that actually reminds me. In the timeline, in Pig's timeline, we didn't go to untie Monkey. We let Pig do it all the time. And just like that, the search for the school resumed. Search of the school resumed once more. It was like it was cruel to think that in just a few minutes ago I thought there'd be no need to do this anymore. But the shortcut I had literally gave up on went in flames. Now we had no fear of and scrambled once more. Why? I had to be. It had to be the desperate personality. There we go. They must have done it to avoid an instant loss. But then, why kill Ox? Was it a completely unnecessary step that only brought more suspicion? If they wanted to stop the ritual, they must have been easier methods. For instance, I hadn't thought about it before. Oop, I didn't. Accidentally skipped. But couldn't someone have pricked their finger and simply not bled into the bucket? If they did that, it would be near impossible to tell who deviated. While there's a chance that the music would instantly end the moment the ritual was conclusively failed. Something similar likely to happen this time. Still, there had to be another way. No matter how much I thought about it, I couldn't realize things. Boy, do you look depressed. I looked at Dog. Thank you, Dog. I think this is the first time he and I had been exploring alone. When we had been looking through the administration office on the second floor. I mean, well, duh. We were so close. We were almost done with this, and then it all got messed up. Why wouldn't I be sad? No, it makes sense. It's just bringing the atmosphere down in here. Bringing the atmosphere down? I gotta say, Dog, you don't look particularly bothered by all this. You barely spoke back up there. Well, yeah. You know what your issue is. What? You think too much. You have hope. Oh, okay. Oh, brother. No, actually hear me out. I learned a long time ago that you can really let a lot of emotions go to the wayside. And the one that hurt me the least to let go was hope. It's a functionless feeling. I really don't need this conversation from some washed up emo. Yeah, I get that I'm not the person that you trust on something like this. But actually think about it for a second. What does hope ever get you? It's not a practically enjoyable emotion all on its own. It's not unpleasant, but it's not a substitute for an actual happiness. But the main function is to create expectations. Expectations that are either fulfilled or which will make you content. Or they won't be fulfilled and you'll be crushed. Yeah, that's how life works, Dog. Very insightful. I'm just saying, if you don't bother with expectations in the first place, you learn to take things for how they are. You never get let down. I'm not saying to try things to improve things. When things go well, savor it. But don't expect things to go well. That way, when they don't, you can just laugh at it. You know, it's funny. You almost sound convincing. Almost convincing, huh? You've called me on a good day. Sorry, you must have called me on a good day. Anyway, the round end isn't too long from now. Wanna go check on Bunny and Horse? Let's. Okay, Please don't be dead. If either of them are dead, that's gonna be an issue. Just like that, we made our way back to the 3rd floor. As we opened the classroom door, I expected Bunny to be rather sour mood. But he was dead. Wait, what the hell? Aha. I suppose this is a pretty good counterpoint. Sometimes you think you don't have any expectations, and life can still shoot lower. Well, not as much as you can do about that laugh. Would you shut up? Horse is dead. Indeed, as surprising as it was, Horse's body was splayed on the floor, on top of his toppled chair. Cause of death was obvious, a bullet right through his head. How did we not hear a gunshot? It's a school. Why didn't we hear a gunshot? Oh, the silence gun that Horse had in his poison ending. Oh, that's why we have the Kavka poison. No, only Sheep and I know about it. Even more surprising than that, Horse was Bunny. All was left of him was the ropes that had previously tied him around, had been tied around him. In other words, he was gone. This isn't good. Oh boy, this isn't good. Can you not laugh? Sorry, I'm actually sorry. Just a different way of coping. Bunny, he must have gotten free, killed Horse, and escaped. No, he was freed, and then Horse was killed, and now Bunny's a hostage. So I guess he really did kill Ox then. Weird. I wasn't paying too much attention, but I thought Pig's story didn't make much sense. I don't know whether or not Bunny killed Ox. I do know he's loose and likely dangerous. Indeed. Although, it's nothing. You can't just say that. I mean, I can. Just spit it out when what you mean to say. Okay, jeez. All I was going to say is that it's kind of weird that Horse's ropes were untied. He was probably shot before he was probably shot before he was untied, right? So then why untie a corpse? Good point. But it was probably didn't matter. But it probably didn't really matter all that much. So let's forget that for now. Like you said, the bigger point of the fact is that Bunny's gone missing. Want to alert the others? Did I? Hold on. Just wait a second. Okay. Proceeding to wait a second. Don't seem to no rush to alert the others. It was disturbing how per se he was acting about this, but at the time that worked to my advantage. Before, it didn't seem like much big of a deal. However, now that we have confirmed the fact that there are more killings, we need to look at what happened to Ox closer. Right now, the obvious assumption would be that the killer is Bunny. But does that make sense? I don't know, does it? I don't think so. See, the problem with Bunny being the culprit is that the way Pig proposed it, he has no direct control over when the fire started. However, thinking back to the music, suddenly it got super loud before things went down after all. Couldn't be a coincidence. Yeah, you're right. Also, we have to factor in the noise that happened when things went down. For the sake of argument, Ox's shout of surprise could be him feeling static shock before blowing, I guess. But I heard something else. Something that sounded a lot like oil landing on Ox. So you're likely saying Horse was the big culprit? No. I don't think he is. I'm not saying that. If I were under the assumption that a Horse did it, it does make sense why for Bunny to kill Horse and flee. So what are you saying? I'm saying Bunny might not have escaped. He might also be dead. I let the words hang in the air. I expected some acknowledgement from Dog, perhaps a look of surprise. But instead, he looked at me in my eyes and answered me at my own level. If that's the case, Mouse, then why kill Horse? Huh? Your theory goes that if Bunny isn't the killer and neither is Horse, then it might be someone else. Someone else killed Horse and hid Bunny's body to make it look like he escaped. Am I understanding you correctly? That is the gist of what I'm getting at, yeah. But everyone agreed that the suspicious cast on horse held a lot more water than those cast on bunny. People would buy that horse killing bunny and escaping as the true killer, and a lot better than they'd buy bunny doing that. So why they set it up like this? I couldn't give Dog an answer he looked for. It was a minor problem, but it was a surprisingly critical one. What could be the explanation? So, now we're going to go tell the others? I thought about some more about the ritual. How a perfect crime was how perfect a crime it was. How well it was set up. And yet, how amateurish a certain elements of it felt. That contrast. If the killer wasn't Horse and it wasn't Bunny, then it had to be someone who could have poured oil on Ox and set him on fire. Thinking about the setup, there was one place I needed to check in order to uncover the full truth of the incident. Let's check. Okay. Well, we'll find out on the next time. Thank you for stopping by with that one. And hopefully I see you on the next one. Goodbye.